Hi, Christy here. I'm in my Akashic records, and I want to start the exploration today with hurrying causing us to slow down. Slowed by rushing, if you will. I am good at this. I am experienced at this. On my phone, I have the ability to, when I'm texting, I can draw out a word, like the word accurate, for example. And what happens is that I'm like, oh, this will be quick. And so I do it really fast. And most of the time, I get the wrong word. Unless I slow it down and am deliberate, ACCURATE, wherever those letters are. And then my chances are better. There's a quote that I'll probably mangle. It's something like, the hurrieder I go, the behinder I get. Something like that, which is exactly what this is about. So many of us are rushing through life, aren't we? I think fast, I speak quickly, I want to get things done quickly. Yeah, here I go. Let's get on with it. And we know this intuitively, instinctively, that reduces our enjoyment of what we're experiencing. If we're trying to be somewhere else instead of being here, what's going to happen? Here doesn't seem as important. We got to get to the place. We got to get to the spot. We got to say the thing quickly. We got to get it out. And we lose something in the process. You've probably heard of the slow food movement. This idea is sort of the counterpoint to fast food, where you slowly prepare the food and you sit down at the table and you eat the meal at your leisure. And it's changing the whole experience of stuffing fuel in your face, or savoring and finding a way to really enjoy the time that you have with the food, with your family, with your friends, even if it's just with yourself, slowing down so that you can enjoy what's going on. I recently watched a Privacy is Power video. It's a live stream, and it was, wow, amazing. I learned a lot in there. But one of the women was really emphasizing how analog is life. We get all into our digital devices, but life really happens outside of our devices. Again, we know these things instinctively, but there's a way in which we almost have amnesia around, oh no, this is my life, this is important. I gotta check Facebook, I gotta check my phone mail, my voicemails, I gotta check my emails, whatever. We can kind of forget to be here. But she pointed out, this is where life happens. This is where we eat. This is where we have one-to-one relationships with human beings, in person. With our animals, our animals are entirely, if you have pets, they're entirely analog, right? They're not checking I know there are some pet training things where you can teach them how to spell and stuff, but still, that's sort of imposing this non-analog world on them. I guess it is analog if they're pressing buttons. Anyway, there's an important way in which we can enjoy this life, being in a body, being with other human beings, being in nature. She reminded us that the nature is completely analog. You go outside, you're going to enjoy something that's completely different than your device. You could be walking along with your device, I suppose. But the idea is not to. The idea is oh yeah, this is how we have lived for millennia. That's sort of the thing lighting up here in the records right now. Is we have good amount of practice living in an analog world. We have tons of practice doing that. We have almost no practice relative to lifetime after lifetime, millennia, for how long human beings have been alive. We have almost no experience in digital. And in this sped up, let's hurry, even the fact that for a lot of our lifetimes, we did not have electricity. It got dark, you either had to light a fire or you went to bed because there was nothing else to do. And imagine how bored we would be if we just had to go to sleep. But also how things might shift for us if we find our way back to being these embodied beings who live analog lives. All right, I guess that's enough for today. I'd love to hear in the comments below if you're feeling any tension between your analog life and your digital life. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. In the meantime, please go be brilliant.